Hi, I'm Gillian Askew. I'm one of the directors of Go for Growth, and welcome to the Public Sector Supply Ready programme. I'm just going to spend the next few minutes talking you through the programme and the Public Sector Supply Ready accreditation that you can get as a result of going through the programme. I'm going to show you how to use the system and what to fill in and answer a few questions that we think you might have as you go through. The Public Sector Supply Ready programme, in brief, is really about helping providers to demonstrate your capability and your readiness to take part in public sector opportunities. And it should also help public sector buyers and commissioners to get to know what the market capability looks like and who is actually ready to take part in these competition opportunities. Once you've completed the accreditation, you will get a badge that you can use on your social media. You can put at in the signature line of your email, a demonstration to other providers and obviously to your clients and prospective clients that you have invested in your experience, your knowledge, and your capability around public sector opportunities. So, the Public Sector Supply Ready status is an accreditation programme, and it's all done digitally. What I will say is it can also act as a bit of a gap analysis for you. So you may have everything ready and you might want to whiz through the accreditation just to get the badge at the end of it and to be part of that community of suppliers who are ready to take part. But equally, you might be in development, or you might be somewhere on that journey, you might be starting out for the first time. And so what the Public Sector Supply Ready programme will help you do is to identify any gaps you've got and to work through fulfilling those gaps. So it will help you become ready if you're not quite there just yet. And at all stages, we're doing this outside of any competitive process. So there is no clock ticking. You work through this at a pace that is proportionate and relative to you and what you're trying to achieve. And if you need any help and support, you can always come to Go for Growth. There's lots of resources, lots of templates that we've got. There's lots of links to that in the Public Sector Supply Ready status itself. But if you need something and you don't know where to go and get it, just pick up the phone or drop us an email and we'll help you every step of the way. So this is the landing page that you'll get to. It will welcome you to the Public Sector Supply Ready accreditation. It'll tell you a little bit about what it is and what it does. There are 3 parts to it, starting with the standard selection questionnaire, a version of which is used in every public procurement bid. And there's also some contact details that you can see here for myself and my colleague Lauren. And also there's our bookable calendar here, a link to it, which will help you to book a 30-minute Teams conversation with either me or Lauren. So the tutorial video that we're working through will just go through all 3 steps. And just to note, in order to get the accreditation, there are 2 types of evidence that needs to be submitted. There are mandatory elements and there are optional elements. In order to achieve the accreditation, all the mandatory elements must be evidence, and I'll show you how to know the difference between the 2 of them. So the first thing we'll do is log in. So we'll log into the system. If you're already in the Go for Growth programme, your login will work. So if you're using our current platform, or if you're in the Carbon Net Zero programme, then your password and login will work. If it's the first time that you've joined us digitally on any of our platforms, you will just have to register. Or if you've forgotten your password, you can see there's a reset button here. Once you're in, it brings you back to the landing page, and at the bottom it then takes you into the standard selection questionnaire. So that's where we'll go now. And what you'll see on here is that there are just 3 steps in the PSSR, Public Sector Supply Ready. The first is the standard selection questionnaire. So you don't need to fill all of this out to move into your challenges and then your evidences. But of course, we are suggesting that you fill out the standard selection questionnaire. And if you do want to achieve the PSSR accreditation, you will need to have completed the SSQ through this first step here. But it goes through the standard selection questionnaire, the questions that are asked in that standard selection questionnaire that would be generic. So what it's not going to ask you is about the subcontractors that you might use or the insurances that you've got. It will talk a little bit about accreditations, but anything that is going to be specific to a procurement opportunity isn't covered in here. So it is a watered down version, but what it will do is help you to prepare the SSQ for other bids. And you can get a copy of this at the end. So you'll fill out your name, the registered address, the website address, your trading status. So are you a sole trader, a third sector provider? Are you a limited company, etc.? It will ask for your date of registration. So if you're a charity or a limited company or a PLC, you'll have a date of registration, your registration number, your DUNS number. If you don't know what your DUNS number is, you can go to the Dun & Bradstreet website and apply to get your DUNS number. It takes a few minutes and they email the number to you. We have a tutorial video on getting your DUNS number on our YouTube channel, so feel free to head there if you've not got your DUNS number before. If you are registered for VAT, your VAT registration number, and then a relevant classification. So are you a VCSE, are you a sheltered workshop, a public service mutual, or is that not applicable? So pick whichever is relevant to you. It will also ask you for a small to medium enterprise. And if you don't know if you are, the definition is in here. You can click into it, it's a live link, and then you can pick yes or no. You will be asked about whether you've got persons of significant control, and this is relevant if you're a limited company or a charity. So if you're registered with a Charities Commission, you are obliged to update this on an annual basis at Companies House. So if you're filling this out on behalf of your charity and you want to know who your PSCs, your persons of significant control, are, you can go to Companies House and find that. Same if you're a limited company. And this is how it will be asked for in the bid itself. It will ask you about details of a parent company. If you don't have one, put NA. If there is an ultimate parent company, outside of the immediate parent company, if you have one, put those details in there. If not, you would put NA. And then it works through the exclusion grounds. If you want to go through the standard selection questionnaire in much more detail than I'm covering in here, then again, we have a video tutorial on that on our YouTube channel. It should be in the Bid Skills playlist. We did a lunch and learn on it on the 6th of March, so please do feel free to go and have a look. I'm aware that I'm really whizzing through this bit for the purposes of this demonstration. So we'll go through grounds for exclusion, both mandatory and discretionary. And then it will ask you about whether there's any statements that apply to you. And then there'll be some selection questions, which is about your economic and financial standing. So again, these are all questions that you are likely to be asked if you're taking part in any public sector opportunities. It will then talk about your technical and professional capability. So you'll be asked for details of contracts that you are currently operating on, up to 3 of those. Where you cannot provide at least one example, then in no more than 500 words, you'd be asked to explain why you meet the selection criteria relating to your professional ability, your capability. For example, your organisation might be a startup, or you've provided services in the past, but you're not under contract to do so. And then section 7 is, it does have some project specific questions in there. We've stripped them out, so these should be the most generic ones in there. So data protection, for example, is covered in there, health and safety, for example, and then there is the contact details and declaration at the end. So it shouldn't take too long to fill all of that out, and then you can save at any point of your progress. It will automatically update, but do save it so that it keeps the information in there for you. You can opt to share it, and what that means in sharing is sharing it around your business so that more than one person can input to it. Once you've filled out the selection questionnaire, you'll move on to your challenges. And you'll see that I just filled out my name, and it will let me move on to my challenges with just my name filled out. What you'll see when you come into your challenges, if I just click on these, so there are these 6 headings that we're covering, and effectively what we're looking at is what are the basic building blocks that you would need to have covered in order to credibly take part. And what you'll see is automatically when you come in, there are a number of things that are above the line. And here is what we call the line along here. And then there are a couple here. So these that have got numbers against them are the mandatory items. So you have to evidence against each of these in the next step in order to get the accreditation. But you might also want to add these optional ones if you are ready and able to do so. If you do that, you would click and put them above the line. If you see an I button anywhere around the digital platform, that means that there's some extra information in there for you. So you can click it and have a look. If you have said, yes, actually, I think I do that, you've then clicked on the information and go, oh, actually, no, I don't. You can then use the bin button and it will put it back below the line. So again, you can click on the information button and it will tell you what it's all about. It's the same for each of these sections, and when you first go in, what you'll see is what I've just described. The mandatory ones are already there and numbered for you, and any that have got a plus sign, they're the optional ones. So if you click on the information button, it will give you some more information about them. And same for legals, same for social value and the environment. Working in partnerships, they're optional only. And on equality, diversity and inclusion, they are also optional only. So once you've had a read through of all of these and you're happy that you understand what they are looking for example, then you would move on to adding your evidence. And your evidence is narrative only, so we're not going to ask you to upload a load of documents to us. But what we are going to ask you is to write your evidence. So the first thing to do on the first item is confirmation that your business has at least one case study. And there's some supplementary text around that. So customers might be interested in seeing your case studies. Make sure that they're publicly available. They can be in different formats such as video, which can help to promote your business as well. Often case studies will be asked for in either Word or PDF format. If you click on anything that's underlined, that will be a live link to some supplementary information that could be helpful to you. So what you would do is click it as in progress once you're working on it, and then you would add your evidence. So what you might say, for example, is our organisation has a combination of video and PDF document case studies from both customers and suppliers, and these, if I can type, are all readily available for public consumption via our website. And then you would hit save, and that your evidence is there. And you would work through completing your evidence for all of this. You would then, once you've added your evidence in and you're happy with it, you would then mark it as complete. What we will see at the back end is when you've marked everything as complete from the mandatories and that evidence narrative has been put there, then that will generate your accreditation, and we will send you your certificate of accreditation and the PSSR badge that you can use for your email should you want to. And it really is as simple as that. Again, if you see an information button, you can click it and it will give you more information that you need to help you along the way. As I've said, if you have any questions throughout the Public Sector Supply Ready programme, if you need any help filling any gaps, if you want access to templates or resources and you don't know where to find them, then just give us a shout and we will help you through. If you have any questions at all in relation to this or to any of the other support that we have on offer or any of the other programmes that we're running, such as the Carbon Net Zero, for example, then do just give us a shout. My name is Gillian Askew. You can reach me at jill@goforgrowth.co.uk. You can also get in touch with my colleague Lauren at goforgrowth.co.uk. And thank you for joining me today.